For as long as humans have looked up at the night sky, we've told stories about what might be looking back. Across continents, across thousands of years, ancient civilizations that never met one another described remarkably similar things. Beings that came from the sky, great battles above the earth, knowledge gifted to humanity seemingly overnight, and technologies so advanced that, even today, we struggle to explain how they were achieved. Coincidence? Or something more? Let's begin where some of the oldest written records in human history were found. In ancient Sumeria, clay tablets tell the story of the Anunnaki, beings said to have descended from the heavens. According to these texts, the Anunnaki were powerful, godlike entities who shaped humanity, ruled over Earth, and imparted knowledge of agriculture, astronomy, law, and civilization itself. Some interpretations suggest they came from the sky, even from another world, and were deeply involved in human development. One of the most famous Sumerian stories, the Epic of Gilgamesh, speaks of divine beings, immortality, and great knowledge passed down to humans. Figures like Enoch, later echoed in biblical texts, are said to have walked with these beings and learned secrets of the universe. Knowledge that humanity seemed to gain far too quickly for a young civilization. Moving east to ancient India, we encounter some of the most vivid descriptions of aerial technology in ancient literature. Texts like the Mahabharata and Ramayana describe flying vehicles known as vimanas. These were not simple chariots. They are depicted as capable of vertical flight, great speed, and devastating weapons. Entire cities were said to be destroyed by blinding flashes of light, intense heat, and powerful blasts that resemble descriptions of modern weaponry. One passage even warned survivors to wash themselves and their clothing after such battles, eerily similar to precautions taken after radiation exposure. Were these purely mythological flourishes, or ancient attempts to describe technology far beyond their understanding? Now travel to ancient Egypt, where the gods were said to come from the sky and rule as divine kings. The precision of the pyramids, aligned perfectly with celestial bodies, still raises questions today. How did a civilization without modern tools achieve such astronomical accuracy and architectural perfection? Egyptian texts speak of gods like Thoth, bringers of knowledge, mathematics, writing, and science. Knowledge that seemed to appear suddenly, as if handed down rather than slowly developed. Even the hieroglyphs themselves sometimes depict shapes that modern viewers find strangely reminiscent of advanced machines. Across the ocean, in Mesoamerica, the Maya, Aztec, and other indigenous cultures tell similar stories. Gods who descended from the sky and taught humanity agriculture, calendars, astronomy, and architecture. The Mayan calendar demonstrates an astonishing understanding of time, celestial cycles, and planetary motion. Quetzalcoatl, often depicted as a feathered serpent, was said to arrive from the heavens, bring knowledge, and one day promise to return. Serpent imagery appears again and again across cultures, often associated with the sky, wisdom, and power. In ancient China, legends speak of dragons, flying serpents that soared through the heavens, breathed fire, and controlled the elements. But dragons were not always viewed as monsters. They were symbols of wisdom, authority, and advanced power. Some speculate these descriptions could be ancient interpretations of aerial craft, witnessed by people without the language to describe machines, engines, or weapons. Even in Greek and Roman mythology, the gods descended from Mount Olympus, traveled in flying chariots, wielded weapons that controlled thunder, fire, and destruction, and interfered directly in human affairs. Zeus's thunderbolts, Apollo's blazing arrows, and the gods' ability to appear and disappear at will sound less magical when viewed through a modern technological lens. In North and South America, indigenous cultures left behind massive earthworks, star maps, and structures aligned with solstices and equinoxes. The Nazca lines in Peru stretch across the desert, massive shapes only fully visible from the sky. Who were they made for? And why? What's most striking is not any single story, but the pattern. Different civilizations, different languages, vast distances, yet the same themes appear again and again. Beings from the sky, advanced knowledge gifted to humanity, flying objects, great battles above the earth, fire raining down from the heavens. Were these just myths, symbolic stories meant to explain the unknown, or were ancient people witnessing something real, filtering it through the limits of their understanding, and recording it the only way they knew how? If a modern jet flew over an ancient city, how would it be described? A roaring metal bird, a god, a dragon, a flaming chariot. Perhaps the ancients weren't imagining gods. Perhaps they were describing visitors. And maybe the greatest mystery isn't whether we are alone in the universe, but whether we ever truly were.